I picked something different out of it by the third time of watching it. And I think it's because where I'm at in my headspace, in my acceptance and my closure. Because I think it's really important where we can to have closure, to particularly if you're going through a form of trauma or a sense of loss.
Hello, and welcome to Chaps Out Culture, the companion podcast where I invite my guests to recommend their favourite LGBTQ inspired art, music, literature, film, theatre, or TV. Essential queer culture that celebrates who we are. Hello and welcome to Chaps Out Culture, and I'm joined again by my Chaps Out guest Tyrone, and he's here to talk about a bit of queer culture that certainly played a very important role for him when he was thinking about coming out.
Hi, Grant. Thank you for the invite. Yeah, I'm going to share this morning around something that's resonated to myself as a gay man in come out in 2009, and a cultural experience where I watched the film named A Prayer for Bobby with Sigourney Weaver,
Hmm.
and where that resonated with myself and my own personal journey and story.
So tell us about the story then. How does it pan out?
So it's based on Sigourney Weaver is a mother who has got a son called Bobby, and they live in America. They're part of an evangelical large Baptist movement, Christian movement, quite conservative movement would be very much not inclusive around sexuality.
Hmm.
And where Bobby, as a young man, I think maybe 18 to 20, come out to his family who were very involved in their church life to say that he was gay and the struggle that that was for Bobby, but also for the family and also their Christian beliefs
Hmm.
and cultural beliefs. And that sadly led to Bobby taking his own life and then the transformation of his mother being able to change her thoughts and beliefs and became a very inclusive champion at after the sad loss of her son
Hmm.
to really break down the barriers and to encourage people with inclusion within a conservative church movement.
So it's a true story. So when's it set?
I think it was set around 1974. I
Oh,
think
okay.
around 70s. I think it was set around the 70s, if I recall.
How does it measure up in terms of when parallels with your life? You said there's a parallel when you watched
Yeah,
it that it sort of reminded
yeah,
you of your
yeah.
relationship with your father.
Yeah. I think for me, it was the same year as I come out, so it resonated with me coming out at 2009 at the age of 35. Somebody who then experienced that sense of loss and rejection within family,
Mm.
within immediate family, and also within the church community that I was part of for 18 years. So that resonated quite a lot around that sense of shame and a sense of isolation
Mm.
and exclusion, and also how to understand faith in that, which was parallel to the story for Bobby and his mother, who are the two main characters in this film.
Have you watched it more than once or twice? Is it
I
something you've
have,
gone
I
back to?
I have, and I watched it the second and third time, and actually where I've been, I come out obviously in 2009, as I've mentioned, and here we are in 2026. So that is a sense of where I watched it twice, three times now, and I picked something different out of it
Mm.
with by the third time of watching it. And I think it's because where I'm at in my headspace,
Mm.
in my acceptance and my closure, because I think it's really important where we can to have closure, to particularly if you're going through a form of trauma or a
Mm.
sense of loss. Because if we're stuck in our trauma, it can damage how we move forward.
Mm. And you're much more resilient and stronger
Yeah,
than you would have
yeah,
been when you watched it.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. A lot more resilient. And actually thinking to myself, sometimes looking back at it, I think, what if things would have been different? As I mentioned, my mother was deceased 4 years before I come out. I think my journey might have been different if I come out of my mother's life as we had a very close bond and a really strong, healthy attachment. But it is what it is in that sense that you have to still move forward
Hmm.
and actually find yourself in your own journey of life.
Sounds like a really good watch. I hadn't
Yeah,
heard of that one, so
yeah.
I guess it's probably not something that's sort of pushed in the sort of church movement, really.
No, it would not be if anything would be stigmatized as saying not something to watch. It would be something that would be encouraged to watch in some of the minority inclusive churches that we've got or church movements we've got. But as we all are aware, that is a minority here in Great Britain.
It's a shame that it doesn't seem that the church would want to take something like that on board and learn from it and adapt. But anyway, that's a really good recommendation. So thank you very much, Tyrone. I really appreciate you coming on because I know it's not an easy story for you to share. But yeah, that sounds like a really good one. So thank you very much.
Thank you.